Hey guys, Orangepylonz here with a new Amazon buy from Neewer, and it's a field monitor for cinematography called the Neewer F200. It's been almost a month since my last video on YouTube, only because I've been busy with a new project in live broadcasting on a mobile app, but more on that a little bit later. If you're interested, please subscribe, and hopefully by the end of November I'll be able to show you some more about that. Okay, the first thing out of the package is the Neewer dual USB charger, and this is going to charge the battery that comes with this package. It's a 7.2 volt 2600 milliamp battery, and I'm going to demonstrate that a little bit later. Okay, let's try to get this box out of the package. This monitor has a native resolution of 1280 by 1080. You can also input a 4K feed, but it downscales it to 1080p. It's an IPS monitor, so it has nice colors and a nice viewing angle as well. It's about as bright as an iPhone X, about 80% brightness, and it has a contrast ratio of 1200 to 1. So there is the monitor itself. We're just going to take it out and set it to the side and have a look at the other items in the box first, once we get this cardboard lid to the side. First thing you see is the F200 monitor instruction manual, as well as another pamphlet with source codes at the bottom, so you can scan those and find out some information about this package. Okay, here is your mounting solution provided by Neewer. It is a cold shoe ball head with a 1/4 inch screw at the top. This plugs into the monitor at the bottom, and the cold shoe is intended to slide on the top of your DSLR. There's also this screw you can unfasten to tighten it. Okay, in this zippy bag, you're gonna see the AV cables as an option to connect to this monitor. There's also a lead relief bracket that you can attach to the side of the monitor so your HDMI doesn't come loose. Here's the mini HDMI as well, and a normal size HDMI cable that plugs into the monitor. Okay, here's a closer look at the bracket. It's made of a metal and pretty rigid, so we'll just set that aside. Here is the AV lead that plugs into the monitor, and the RCA cables from a camcorder or another device. In this second zippy bag, it's a micro HDMI, and it's a good length that Neewer provides. And here is the end of the HDMI lead, and here is the end of the micro HDMI. This is the sunshade mount. It's made of plastic, so be careful with it. And the last thing in the box is the sunshade itself. And once I get it out of this plastic, you'll be able to see the type of material inside. So you can see it's a type of fabric inside, and that is the Velcro strip that attaches to the sunshade mount. Okay, let's get this monitor out of the sleeve. So this monitor is 7 inches and it is the F200 model. Quick look at the inputs and outputs. There's your 12-volt DC, standard HDMI in, your AV in. This is a 3.5 millimeter aux out and an AV out. And this does not carry audio, and a upgradable USB port to upgrade the firmware. And here is where the battery slots in on the back. I was a little bit dissatisfied of the condition of this plastic sleeve on the front of the monitor, but we'll see past that in this unboxing. Here are your buttons, mode menu, volume up, down, as well as up, down in the menus, and your function keys. And last, the power button there on the right. Okay, here's a measuring tape in inches, and you can see there that the horizontal, the width of the monitor is about 7 inches, and the height is about 5.5. And that's 9 inches diagonally. On the side of the monitor, it's about about 1 inch, 1.5 inch, and when you put the battery on the back, it's probably going to be about 2 inches, so just keep that in mind when you're mounting this monitor. Okay, now I'm going to try demonstrating installation of the sun bracket. Caution, word of caution, be extra careful when mounting this. It is made of a flimsy plastic, and if you're a bit too rough with it, I do see this plastic cracking and rendering the sunscreen useless. So just be careful. There you can see the Velcro strip I was talking about earlier. So you just simply take the sunshade and line up the Velcro, and that's gonna prevent glare on a sunny day. Also, there is the 1/4 inch mount, or the thread, at the bottom of the monitor. Okay, let's move on to the battery. So as I showed before, this is where you mount the battery to the back of the monitor, and you're going to see the battery and the charger right now. So let's just get the battery out, and I'll show you that first. It's a 7.2 Li-ion battery, 2600 milliamps. So it's gonna last you, a long time if it's fully charged. So Neewer slapped their logo on it, and it's an NPF 550. So you can see here I had some trouble putting the battery in. I didn't see, but there are actual teeth in there. You line them up and it clicks into place. And there's also an idiot-proof locking mechanism, and you can see they're having trouble getting it out. But I soon realized that there's a button, and once you press that button in, you can slide the battery out. Ta-da! In this orange box is the USB charger, and at the bottom there is the list of batteries that can be charged on this unit. So we're just going to set this down, and I'm going to plug it in and show you guys what it looks like charging. There's an LCD screen at the top as well, and it's going to tell you the state of the battery once you have it plugged in. So here is the USB and USB input into the USB charger, and there's the input at the top there. So the battery slides into place. There's no click, but once you plug it in, this LCD will light up, and you'll know if the battery is connected. Okay, to the right of the screen is a USB hub, and that is connected to a laptop, and you saw there that the blue LED indicated that there is power to it. So we're just going to simply plug it in, and the LCD should light up blue, and you can see that it comes almost completely charged. I did leave the battery charged in the charger for about 35 minutes and didn't get a full charge, but I was anxious to test out the monitor, and it was quite late, so we're just going to go forward and move on from there. Okay, so this time I line up the teeth and it clicks into place. And in the instruction manual, which I suggest you read before you turn on the monitor, it advises you to go through the menu and select the language that that you can understand, and also to turn down the volume, because once you plug this in, it does carry an audio signal, and sometimes the feedback is quite disturbing, so be sure to turn that down. So I'm just lowering the volume in the system tab of the menu. Now the F1 key is going to be your confirmation button, and the F2 key is your back button. And here you can see as I went down the menu, the software upgrade section there, it tells you the firmware that you're currently running, and that's going to be important to be up to date. You want that number to be the newest provided by Neewer. Okay, let's mount this, and let me demonstrate the monitor plugged into a DSLR. Okay, for this demonstration, I've defaulted the monitor to factory settings and lowered the volume as suggested so we don't get any feedback. Once you plug this in, the audio will be transmitted through the lead, and you lower the volume with that button, or you can go through the menus as I showed before. This monitor is mounted to Neewer's shoulder rig, and I've used a small rig C-clamp to mount it to a 17mm rail. Alright, the mini HDMI is plugged into my DSLR, and it's also plugged into the monitor. I recommend having both devices turned off when attaching and deattaching leads to prevent any possible mishaps that could potentially occur. It's good practice with any type of electrical device to follow that procedure. So now that the DSLR is turned on, I'm going to press and hold for 2 seconds on the power button on the Neewer monitor. And like I mentioned before, if you haven't already, make sure you press the down button and lower the volume. Here are your function keys. We'll talk about them a little bit later. but already you could see a clear picture on the monitor. One thing to note is that these F keys are remappable, so I suggest you reassign the functions to what you find most helpful, and you can set them in the System tab under the menu options. So the first animation on the left bottom of the monitor is the audio level, and you can see it's active as the bars are jumping. On the right is a histogram, and this is helpful here, and you can see that it's active as I move my hand across the lens. This demonstration, I'm not going to talk much about the menu, but talk about the pre-assigned F keys. So F1 is false color, and this is going to show your exposure. So what's most exposed on the image is going to be a brighter tone of red, and underexposed is going to be blue. The second F key is focus peaking, and I'm going to demonstrate that with the follow focus on the Neewer shoulder rig. You're going to see already on that green character that his mustache is has a red lines across it, and these can be changed to a different color, but you can see as I pull focus, the lines disappear, and the red lines disappear, and they appear on the subject in the back, and as I pull focus back, you can see they're back on the mustache. You can exit any of the functions by repressing the function key that you selected, and that will turn them off. Okay, on to F3. F3 is your center marker, and that's going to put a cross here in the center of the screen, and that's good for gimbal shots. If you want to track a subject and walk around, you can focus them with that center marker, and that's really helpful. The last function key that comes pre-mapped on the F4 key is your safety marker. And like I mentioned before, these markers and crosshairs can be changed in thickness and color. But there you can see around the perimeter of the screen, it's set to 85%. And as I press the button, the percentage is going to increase, and the rectangle will expand on the preview. Alright, we're just about to the end of the video. I hope you found it insightful, and like I said before, subscribe to be notified in the future about possible unboxings and gaming videos, and the project I mentioned earlier as well. Alright, thanks for watching. Oh, two more things that I want to demonstrate here in the following clips, and yeah, thanks for watching. So here I'm just showing that a GoPro, and this one is a Hero 3, can be attached to this monitor. I have another plug here into a power bank just to give the GoPro some power, and I'm gonna turn on the monitor, and you're gonna see the characters from the GoPro. The image is gonna look underexposed, because this particular GoPro is sort of better in the outdoor environment. But on the bottom left of the preview, you can see that the audio is coming through the HDMI, and the histogram is also active as well. So yeah, it works for the GoPro too. Okay, in this last clip, I want to demonstrate that even a tablet can be previewed on this monitor here. I do a live broadcast through a mobile app, so this is particularly useful for me. You can see I have an adapter plugged into the tablet and an HDMI lead that outputs that signal into the monitor, and I'm going to demonstrate how a tablet like this can preview on the F200. So you just press and hold this button here and turn on the monitor, and you should see the image previewed. Okay guys, this is going to be the end of the video. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Once again, please subscribe. It gives me some motivation to do some more unboxing, gaming, and that sort of stuff. But until next time, Orangepylonz out.